We would love to. Chris Kaiser, the showrunner, would love to. That's his baby. And I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, I'm hopeful. I think we're all hopeful.
Hi, Alex. My name is Jordan. I'm here with Pop Culture Planet. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Excited to chat about Brilliant Minds. You play an intern in the show and you're kind of learning and absorbing a lot of information. So, what is something that you learned from being on this set and making this show?
I learned about a lot of medications. Learned about one called oxcarbazepine that I called oxcarbazepine for a long time until I was corrected by our medical consultant. No, I learned, yeah, we learned a lot of things. Like, I mean, me personally, I learned a couple basic medical procedures, which was really exciting. Like like a lumbar puncture, spinal tap type of thing, and everything from basically like taking blood pressure to doing like a suture, for instance. Obviously, like a fake suture, but still things like that.
There's a
Um,
lot of large medical terms in this show. How were you able to kind of remember those things and learn those things and pick that up quickly?
well, we were very fortunate. We had at least two medical consultants at all times on set, so that was really, really helpful. Shout out to Sherry and Megan if they watch this. But we are very lucky that one of our writers is actually an ER nurse. So she's also when they're doing the writing for the actual thing, it's all very authentic and they've done their background checks and all that. And then as far as like how quickly it was memorized, well, I mean, it took a lot of, listen and repeat and just, looking up the word and yeah, really like kind of getting it stuck in my head. But yeah, but we at least once or twice every day we would have to kind of get corrected on medical terms. Maybe not everybody. Some people were better than others, but I did for sure.
Your character, Dr. Marcus, is kind of diagnosed with mirror touch synesthesia. So, what kind of research specifically did you do in preparation of this role and this aspect of the character and understanding this condition?
This condition in particular is pretty rare, so there wasn't a whole lot out there on it, but there were, there's one person in particular that we kind of focused on that the creators and everybody had sent me over as a doctor who has this condition and yes, I just listened to his talks, read up on him and a lot of the experience is just really, really intense uber empathy. So I really just tried to kind of be as present and vulnerable and I was very fortunate that whoever I was acting with, they were giving so much. So it was kind of like if I just really listened and was really present and really vulnerable, those feelings came up. So a lot of it too was me personally just trying to like stay open and vulnerable and I don't know, kind of sounds a little cheesy, but like, just really just being kind of like this little sponge in a way. I don't know. It was but it was challenging. It was really it was difficult. And there were times when, when I couldn't tap into certain emotions or certain things going on. So yeah, so it was just it was a lot about just trying to use my imagination and try to be very clear as far as like declutter anything that I was going through in my personal life and just be present in the moment with the circumstances that we had.
What are you hoping audiences are able to take away from this show?
The one of the bigger things that's been on my mind about it is this kind of like being aware that there are a lot of people out there that are suffering in silence, or there's people that seem like they're totally fine, but they're dealing with a lot. And so just to, in general, kind of have this like extra level of compassion and empathy for strangers or for family members or for whoever, and just kind of having an understanding of, oh wow, like there's a lot of people that I probably know in my personal life that I'm not even aware of that they're maybe in pain or going through something, and just trying to tune into that and to kind of be more patient and compassionate with other people.
It's episode 5, where, we really get to kind of dive into your character in this condition. What was your favorite scene from this episode or part of filming this episode?
We had a lot of fun. We had a really great, awesome, fun director, Charles Randolph Wright. I think probably if I had to pick just like one particular one, I have an interaction with Dana, Ari Krebs, who we were able to just kind of like have this really fun, playful, experience. And so there was a couple of scenes where we were, where I'm telling her about it and she's, reacting to the news and I think we just had a lot of fun and we were doing all these things. And I think there was a few takes when she like, squeezes my face and is all excited. And it was very, I think my favorite one was just the playful experience that Ari and I got to share kind of, and the expansion of our characters' relationship.
Okay, I've got to ask because I'm a big fan of the society. I know there's
Oh,
rumblings. There's been rumblings of what
uh,
would happen if a season two were to happen.
yeah.
If that were to happen and you would return as Luke, what would you kind of hope for him in a second season?
I mean, I think the majority of us would love to go back and do that. And I think that it's one of those things, business wise, Netflix has the rights to it. So I think if they didn't, we could have moved that to another network and another network would have picked it up and we could have done it. But yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we still hold on to it because I think it'd be really cool in a couple of years. Like the kids are all grown up, but they're still in that situation. And then we have some flashbacks or we have some things in the story that kind of gets everybody caught up to where they are right there. But as far as my particular character with Luke and everything, I'm open for a little redemption because whoever's seen it knows that there's a lot, he's being pulled in a couple different directions, and for good or for evil. I don't even know that, but just specifically with the factions that are kind of getting set up and everything. So I hope that he, for lack of better terms, does the right thing, and I hope that he kind of has some redemption and kind of is able to unite people and kind of work through those difficult times that they're about to face, that hopefully one day maybe we get to show what's about to happen because chaos is about to break out.
I think it'd
Yeah,
be an interesting thing to revisit. I think it could be cool.
we would love to. Chris Kaiser, the showrunner, would love to. That's his baby, and I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, I'm hopeful. I think we're all hopeful. Yeah. So hopefully, so your lips to Netflix's ears. Hopefully we get to do something, even if it's like a limited series, a one season thing, just to kind of like tie it all together. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think there's appetite for it. The people want it.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too.
I appreciate this so much, Alex,
Yeah,
for taking the time to chat with me.
yeah. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, nice to meet you.